Last week on Sailing Adrift, we started assembling the pieces for our galley and then conducted some structural tests.
Look at that, with your feet. Put your feet up. Oh yeah, that's it. You've done it.
I guess we're kind of test fitting it because we're not epoxying this in place yet, right?
We could.
Right. I mean, we could, but we aren't.
Why not? Why don't we just get her done? As eager as I was to fasten everything in place, probably a good thing we didn't.
It nicks! You gotta be kidding me. Mark my words, at some point there's going to be a gouge in here that I make to accommodate this stupid lid. That's my prediction for you.
Starting this week, we have a new project punch list of all the items we need to get done before our splash. Yep, it's crunch time. Less than 1 month before we get this baby back in the water. Fair warning, the content you are about to see may cause high levels of stress and anxiety. At least for me anyway.
So very soon, we've got to get this guy into the water. And before we can do that, we got to make sure the hull is sound.
Please stick with us as we scramble to meet our deadline. The next few weeks will be focused entirely on prepping the boat for the big splash, after more than 15 years on the hard.
So I'm going to do a quick inspection to see how many areas we need to take care of, because I know there's at least one patch that I need to finish off from the outside. There's one through hole that I need to finish the decommission from the outside, and one boo-boo on the outside. I think I ground out some blisters too. So we got to make sure that the hull is completely sound, and that's going to require some extensive work, but nothing difficult, just kind of dirty and gross. So let's go take a peek and see what all needs to be done. Here is the rudder seam where this bolts on, and you can see it's been kind of chipped away paint wise, but that should just be the I can never say that word, ablative paint. What's going on down there? Huh, one of those looks pretty ugly, but in general they look serviceable. Just some bolts there. What's going on top of that? Is that some corrosion? Is there one missing? Or is that just crap on top of it? Ah, the rudder feels good, nice and tight, but free moving. So I'm not gonna worry about that, but we might touch up paint these areas. This paint job has never actually been in the water, so it should be relatively fresh. Right here is where we added these fins and then glassed them in place. I was told that doing so would give us a little bit more boat speed rather than just the blunt edge that was here before. Did that on that, and then down there on the back of the keel. Yeah. Then we had some ugly cracking going on right here, so I'm gonna grind that back and put a layer of glass on this and down there. That is a lead encapsulated keel, so should be fine. Right in here, this is gonna be a tough spot to get at. That is some epoxy. This is all epoxy from the inside because we plugged the triducer through hole and took the little fairing block off. We'll have to peel and grind this back and then get it ready for patch and paint. So we'll have to chamfer this out quite a ways. This spot right here is in good shape. That just needs to be painted. Not too terribly bad. Yeah, just little paint spots around the edges of this. When we rebedded those, some of the paint came off. That one looks pretty good. You got a little bit of a blister, but it's just in the paint there. The other thing that we have to take care of is right there. That was me in the chain locker, and I made a little boo-boo. Over here we had a couple of blisters that have been glassed over, but they need to be ground down, faired, barrier coated, and then bottom painted. Gotta untape this anode. But first we're gonna paint underneath it. This is annoying that they use this shit metal on there, so that might just fall off one day. And then last, but certainly not least, my biggest boo-boo so far in the boat building. I wanted to give the people what they wanted, so yesterday I purposefully, very specifically, cut through the hole right here while I was demoing the bedroom.
Looks like you did it twice. Yeah.
Here. Yeah, I'm doing it the right way and the wrong way.
Oh,
So I'm gonna grind this out and repair it for you.
for me.
Because I didn't accidentally do that. But I freaking fixed it, man. This was just a cut. It went right along here. And then I pulled it out and I glassed the crap out of it. So now all we need to do is grind that back, get off the sun damaged exterior, ferret, and barrier coat it and paint it. Back of the boat looks pretty good. And once we do those things, the hull will be ready to go back in the drink. So let's suit up and do the grinding step first. Okay. That spot's ready for fairing compound. There's a couple of bubbles we had to grind out, but that was to be expected. Okay, went around and scrubbed everything with acetone. Mixed up some thickened epoxy just to kind of like smooth out the rough spots, fill up any bubble holes, that type of thing. We're going to glass immediately after this, so it should all smooth out in the end. For this is kind of, we'll call it a pre-barrier coat because we still have to fair the top of this, and I'd rather thicken epoxy, build the gaps rather than fairing compound, which is a little lighter. This is the reason why I mixed up the thickened epoxy. It's a bit of a void there that we need to fill there as well, and then one on the front of the boat. These are going to get glass next. I've already drawn little patterns to mirror it. We'll start with the biggest one that will go over both of these. We'll do slightly smaller that goes over both of them, and then we'll go to direct ones for each of these until we filled it out. That way you create basically a taco of layers of fiberglass, so that when you sand it to make it smooth, you don't end up taking whole sheets of glass off, just the, kind of the tips. Let me show you where this last one is. Right there. I don't know if you can see it. But right here, we had a little boo-boo. I've got to fill this void and then glass it over. Next, we're going to cut the glass and start rolling that off.
Chris then proceeded to fiberglass all the spots as per plan.
There we go. Last one. So that is it for fiberglassing today. We have one more step left to perform with this process, and that is to mix up some fairing compound and get the ones that aren't going to get fiberglassed faired. And then once that's done...
boring. Can we fast forward, please? Oh yeah, this is better. Really riveting stuff.
Chunky.
It's chunky?
Yeah, I bought this like 2 years ago, and it's really settled.
Ew.
Yeah, you gotta mix it up, dude. This is straight up poison. West Systems, straight up poison.
The good stuff.
Yeah, basically I had to match the stuff that we've got on the bottom of the boat now already. So
That's easy because there's like 4 colors your boat can be.
there is, and we've got one of the rarer colors, I'd say. Most people's bottoms are blue, followed by probably gray, and then red's up there for sure.
Yeah, green, hunter green.
I haven't seen hunter green on the bottom of boats. Of course, I don't look a lot at boats' bottoms, if you know what I mean. Let's do this.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, it's super nice outside in Portland finally. It's the first day of summer today, June 21st. The longest day of the year here in North America and the northern hemisphere of the world. You Aussies and such down south are experiencing the shortest day in the middle of winter. Good for you. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
We're gonna put it in this. I don't know why I put the lid back on.
I don't either. That was a weird
It's a poor
move.
choice.
Yep. Gloves?
Gloves, probably. Probably should. Let's see if I will. Life's full of mysteries.
The mystery continues. Easy does it.
Oh, bleep be real. Bleep be real.
Yeah, that's a good move.
This paint is affectionately known as West Systems Flasher Paint because it's CPP. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. You about ready now?
Yep. Ooh, that has got some stank on it. I can feel my brain cells leaving my body. No, Chris, there are only 6 of us left. Yeah, let's go do it.
Oh, so smooth.
Yeah. We're matching textures here.
Yeah?
Gotta put on 2 coats of this straight up poison.
Good deal.
See, we're not going for glamour shots here, Kelly. This is completely utilitarian.
I see that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Your strokes are all over the place.
Ah, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, shove it up in there.
Yeah, we want to keep the barnacles from blocking our doo-doo shoots.
Doo-doo shoots. That's a new one.
Yeah, we gotta keep them protected too. At first I thought you'd leave these bare bronze, but in doing my research, it's like, why? Don't you want to keep the barnacles off your through holes too?
Yeah, I remember that time you wanted me to polish them off in the Boatyard, and I spent like hours polishing them so you could do that.
Did you really polish them though, or did you just...
I did. There's footage of me doing it.
Yeah, Kel.
I'm cleaning your through hole.
Our through hole, Kelly?
Well, it's yours because you need it to be super shiny. Because everyone's going to be looking at this.
Yeah, look at this idiot.
Oh, God. Done that up.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about what we've done so far, because I think I left some steps out. The first thing I did was go to all the areas that needed attention and I grounded down. Then I fiberglassed them all with at least 2 layers on the things that were very small and not very deep, all the way up to 6 layers of the biaxial double thick fiberglass. Then after that, we put peel ply on, peeled that off, and then sanded it down so it's relatively smooth, and used fairing compound to make it very smooth, or as smooth as it felt like making it. I sanded that down so it was very smooth, and then did a barrier coat. 3 layers of straight up epoxy resin. Then after that, wiped off the amine blush with soap and water, sanded it down to give it some tooth, and we primed it with a product that you wouldn't put on your hull, like the entirety of your hull. It's mostly made for metals. I can't remember what it is, but Kelly will put it on the screen. It's this stuff right here. Interlux, blah, 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 blah.
Ding.
Now we're putting on the bottom paint. Coat 1 of 2. I want to be generous with this stuff. It's an ablative paint. That just means that when something tries to stick to it, it falls off. 2 coats of that and then we'll be done, and that will make our hull completely ready for the open ocean.
So, you're done? It's watertight, ready to go?
That remains to be seen, but it's definitely red. We've got the fin, it's all painted up.
Yep, that looks good.
We got this back fin.
Mm-hmm.
This will make us go at least 12 knots faster than we would have before.
How do you figure?
Sure. Our average speed would have been about 6 knots. Now it's going to be 18.
Oh.
This is all you need to do. Make a fin here and there. I have been told by many people that this spins nicely, so
Yep, seems legit.
I think the hull is ready for the open ocean.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we're going to do. We've got a giant list of other stuff to get done. So I guess let's get to it.
Yeah, next week we go
We
up.
have a mastiff list.
A mastiff, good one.
Mastiff.
Yeah,
2 masts. Mizzen and main.
and a boom.
Oh, it's not ready to go back in the water yet, Kelly.
What's that?
This anode, I don't think it's supposed to hang like that.
Oh yeah, probably not. Should
So,
get on that.
yeah, we got to fix this. But we're not going to do that till next week, so stay tuned.
Hey you, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to keep following along, become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button below. And special thanks to our patron crew, We really appreciate your support.
The tips of the taco tips, the taco U, that type of thing. About takes my head off.
Like, I wonder what you just said there. What did she just say there?
Why do you have an accent?